Right now on Up with KREM, a massive overnight manhunt near Liberty Park has just come to an end. This morning, we have the latest in the ongoing investigation.
Several counties in Washington could move back to phase 2 today as state leaders evaluate COVID cases.
It's a chilly start to the work week, but temperatures are on the rise as we head into the day on Tuesday. We're talking another gusty day across the inland Northwest.
Up with KREM starts right now with Joshua Robinson, Jeremy Legoo, and Dana Marie McNichol.
As we are coming up on 6 o'clock this morning, we're tracking breaking news as a massive overnight manhunt in Spokane is now over. We want to thank you for watching Up with KREM. I'm Joshua Robinson.
And I'm Dana Marie McNichol. This morning, police have had areas near Liberty Park in the Perry neighborhood blocked off for hours, and officers just updated us in the last 15 minutes. We have Brandon T. Jones. He's there right now with the latest information. Good morning.
Good morning, Dana Marie, Joshua. It was a pretty chaotic morning for officers throughout Spokane this morning. You can see behind me that the situation isn't as active, and that's because it has been clear. The neighborhood is clear to go back to their normal routines. Officers don't expect any traffic or any problems to be here in the neighborhood. So around 1:30 this morning, an officer in West Plains, so a separate department, got a call about a suspect, and this officer reported that he was shot at. The vehicle fled into Spokane and was located off 9th and Perry. An SPD K-9 unit tracked the suspect, and shots were also fired at the Spokane Police Department. I did speak with the public information officer on duty, and he told me that no officers were injured throughout this entire exchange.
The perimeter is now secured and people are safe to move about. We will have officers in the area to the north of us. It's a fairly remote location, so it probably won't impact traffic at all like that, or neighbors coming and going from their locations.
Several units actually helped with this whole situation. I got out here probably around 4 o'clock in the morning, and there was officers blocks all over Perry Street. Got to drive through that a little bit, and there was just all over the place. And thankfully, this situation has come to an end. The man who was a suspect, he was found deceased, and officers are investigating that as a self-inflicted gunshot wound. There was no officers fired by shots, but like I said, we're going to be out here for the next couple of hours. More details will be released about who this person was and why this situation came about. But as I did say, this area here in the Perry district is cleared. There isn't any danger to neighbors in the neighborhood, and officers will continue to investigate. Joshua, Dana Marie.
Thank you, Brandon, for that update. Now on to a developing story we've been covering since last night. A Spokane woman was found dead and a child is severely injured Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, police say they found a semi-conscious man in a closed garage with a car running, and he is now in custody.
Police got a call from a friend of the victim. She could hear the car running but couldn't get inside the house. The house was located at North Adams Street and Queen. The woman was found dead with serious traumatic injuries.
A 5-year-old child was also found alive but with life-threatening injuries. They were brought to a nearby hospital and underwent surgery. Their status is not known as of this morning. We will continue to update you here on Up with KREM as we learn new information, or you can keep an eye on KREM.com. Let's take a look outside with Jeremy Legoo. Good morning, Jeremy.
Good morning. It is a chilly start to the day, and as you can see, clear skies overhead and a beautiful sunrise early on today. Not a cloud in the sky. That's what helped those temperatures drop. We're sitting at 28 degrees here in Spokane, and we are down in the 20s across a good portion of the inland Northwest. 23 up in Sandpoint, 26 over in Coeur d'Alene, and if you move over toward Moses Lake, you're at 26 degrees as well. It's chilly for all of us, but this is likely now the coldest day we'll see for the rest of spring. I think yesterday morning was that same thing, and we're just going to start warming up from here. Our average high temperature is almost 10 degrees above where it sits today, and in the coming week we really watch things start to rise. The only thing fighting our rising temperatures today is really going to be the wind out of the north as a little front kind of backs its way into the region. What we are going to see is clear skies taking us through the first chunk of the day. By this afternoon, we'll see a couple of clouds develop, some isolated showers in northern Washington and northern parts of North Idaho. And then here in Spokane, I think it's really about the clouds. And so it'll be a mix of clouds and sun taking us into the afternoon, eventually clearing out tomorrow. But tomorrow, wind picks up across the region in a big way. We'll talk about that coming up in the full forecast. But for now, know that it's going to be a sunny morning. Grab the sunglasses, clear off the windshield. And by this afternoon, it's temps up in the 50s.
Yeah, really oddly cold morning. Love to see that those warmer temperatures are on the way, Jeremy, here at 6:04. Today is decision day, when counties across the state will learn if they have to increase coronavirus restrictions. Take a look at this map on your screen right now. You can see all of the counties shaded in blue are failing to meet at least one of the state's reopening metrics. That includes most of eastern Washington counties. Now, the counties shaded in gray are meeting state metrics, including Spokane and Lincoln counties. Under the governor's new guidelines, counties that are over the set number of coronavirus cases and hospitalizations allowed for their population will have to move backward. Right now, all counties in Washington are under phase 3, allowing for 50% capacity inside of most businesses. Moving back to phase 2 would reduce that to 25% capacity.
And looking ahead, everyone 16 and older in our state will be eligible to receive their COVID-19 vaccine starting Thursday. Now, this is more than 6 million people. While 1 in 5 people are fully vaccinated already, it could take a little time to score an appointment.
I think people have to be patient in looking for a vaccine, but we have a lot of vaccine providers and they're ready to go. What we need is the supply. So it may take a few weeks for people to get an appointment, but they'll get one.
Well, there's a variety of places offering a coronavirus vaccine, including CVS, MultiCare, and Providence. Text the word vaccine to 509-448-2000 for more information on tools that can help you score an appointment. 6:05 now on your Monday morning. It's time for your morning rush. More news in less time.
The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office is looking for an inmate who did not return to custody after being released for a work release program. Take a look at your screen. This is 31-year-old Daniel Lee Munson. He's currently serving a sentence for a violation of a no contact order. He's 5'9" with blonde hair and blue eyes. He was last seen by his employer around 10 o'clock a.m. on Friday. Police say he left the job site with his girlfriend, Heather Bethel, from Spokane. If you have any information regarding Munson's whereabouts, you're encouraged to call the number on your screen.
More than 200 Boeing workers voted unanimously to authorize a strike. Teamster Local 174 represents workers who transport items between multiple Boeing facilities. Union members say the latest contract offers from the company isn't fair.
They came in demanding a concessionary contract while at the same time giving themselves bonuses, and we're not going to stand for that kind of inequity.
They wouldn't provide details about the main sticking points, but more than 90% of the members voted unanimously to authorize a strike.
Well, if you commute on Interstate 90 through Spokane, you're going to see multiple changes along the corridor tomorrow. Starting Tuesday, 5 more newly installed ramp meters will go live in the morning and afternoon. Each ramp meter will release vehicles onto the interstate in either 1 or 2 lanes.
The reason why the DOT chose to put in ramp meters is not primarily for congestion, but it's because this corridor from the top of the Sunset Hill at US 2 to Broadway was identified as a high collision corridor. So a lot more accidents than what is anticipated for a corridor of similar type.
The ramp meter at Highway 195 merging onto I-90 went active 2 years ago. It's already successfully reducing collisions in that area. And for more on what you need to know about the ramp meters activating tomorrow, text the word WSDOT to 509-448-2000. Take a look at this crowd of people who destroyed a car in the middle of a Seattle intersection. It happened Friday night at 47th and 11th in the University District. The woman who recorded this video says about 200 people gathered to watch street racing. Now, we don't know why the crowd went after this car, but wow, that explosion. Wow, sorry, that caught me there. We don't know why the crowd went after that car, but by the time they were done, it was completely trashed. And we're told that the driver was able to get out of the car before it was flipped over. Seattle police say that everyone ran off when officers arrived. Nobody was arrested.
The Washington State Senate approved a measure that would expand a tax credit for low-income workers and families. The governor says it will impact 1 in 6 people in our state. Low-income families could get a credit between $300 and $1,200. It now heads back to the House, where it passed last month. If approved, the benefits would start paying out in 2023. And that's your Morning Rush. More news in less time. You can always let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
Still ahead this morning on Up with KREM, disaster teams respond after a volcanic eruption covers an island in the Caribbean with a blanket of ash. We have details for you on the eruption after the break.
And we're talking a warm up in the forecast, but that doesn't mean we're getting out of the cold just yet. We're talking a chilly Monday morning coming up.